Well, hello. Welcome to day 15 of Zentangle Inktober. Today we'll be drawing the pattern called Noom by Zentangle Ink, and because it's a border pattern, I'm going to follow right along this grid line here. And we're going to start by drawing some gentle S shapes. As I start the second S shape, I try to pick a point right in the middle of the bottom curve of the preceding S, such that the S shapes look as if they kind of connect a little bit. In the next step, we will be adding a series of curves along the top edge. And we're going to take that bottom point of the S, and that's where we're going to start and end our curve. So I'm going to start my curve here and end my curve right near that bottom point of the S on the other side. It makes these little almost teardrop shapes start to form. And we'll do the same thing on the opposite side, creating these curved shapes that start and end like right here next to the beginning of that S. Right here, as if it were going to connect to the beginning point of the following S. Next step is kind of magical. It really helps you feel like you're connecting those tear shapes. So here it is, and then I'll give it a description for the next one. We're going to draw sort of a backwards S shape, making sure to connect the 2 points of the S's and swooping up and inking in sort of a background space to make it look like there's a hole there and these two teardrop shapes are connecting. You might have noticed as I've been going through this tutorial that I already have some Noom drawn on the side of my artwork right over here. I wanted to do a fair amount of Noom all the way around the outside edge. Maybe not all the way around, about a third of the way around the outside edge of our artwork, just so I could start to feel like there was some sort of border forming and I could get a visual for what this space looks like. So I'm going to add an inside aura. This isn't part of the official pattern. This is more embellishment. So I'm going to start down here up to a point and then swoop down to the bottom edge of that teardrop shape. Start at the bottom of the teardrop shape, swoop up to the point, and then end on the other side of the bottom. And I'll do that for both sides of teardrop shapes. Now with that internal border, I think what I'm going to do for one side of the teardrop shapes, I'm going to ink that border in, and then for the other side of the teardrop shapes, I think I'm going to add some Stardust Gelly Roll, get some glitter in there, but I'll do that, even after I've done the shading. When I'm inking in, I usually start from the top point of the teardrop shape and ink down to where those teardrops meet. Sometimes my eyes have a hard time seeing, with all those lines going on there where the teardrop shapes meet. Sometimes my eyes get a bit confused. So starting from the top tip of the teardrop helps me to really see, where I should be inking in and not accidentally ink in a border for an adjacent teardrop shape. All right, let's get started with some shading. So most of the shading, most of the graphite is going to go right in this space where the two teardrop shapes meet. So anytime it looks like one of the teardrops goes behind the other, I'll add a bit of graphite. And then of course I'll add a bit of graphite along the outer edge of slide hat here to make it appear that the Noom is going behind. Now let's blend all that in with our tortillion. Yeah, I'm pretty satisfied with that shading. So let's go ahead and use the Stardust Gelly Roll pen to ink in the bottom row of teardrop shapes. To make it look even more dynamic, I'm going to take my white jelly roll and add some shines along the teardrop shapes that have a black border. So every time that there's a curve right on the outside curve here, I'll add a little bit of a shine. And then later I'll go through and add a little bit of shine along the inside curve. Now the last step of this pattern is to draw an aura all the way around. So I'll aura one side and then the other. Again, I'm doing this with my PN Pigma Micron so that I can have a little bit of a thicker line for that border. Finally, let's add a bit of graphite along each edge of that border and blend it in. Yeah, I'm pretty satisfied with that. So our, sort of inner circle of this um, Zentangle adventure is starting to complete itself, and we have a bit of space there to add some more internal tangles. And if I zoom out a little bit so you can see the broader picture, I've got some of that Noom that I'll finish later all around, about a third of the outside edge to start to get a feel for, the outside of my space that we're filling in. So it looks like it's coming together. We're about halfway through, and I'm excited to see how it all turns out in the end. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you had a wonderful time drawing Noom, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. See you later. Bye bye.